Let's see here. Let's go to Miss Claire. Miss Claire, good evening. What can we help you with?
Hey, Claire.
Hey, I need to get new counsel.
Okay.
I had a slip and fall, and I've had two back surgeries into one, plus a pinched nerve. And in the beginning, everything was okay. Now, all of a sudden, there's no liability.
Yeah,
So-
Claire. Well, yeah. Listen, happy to talk about that for sure, Claire. Discharging your lawyer is honestly a fairly straightforward practice.
Okay.
We do talk about this a little bit on the show. People do call in with kind of issues with their lawyer, and you can, sometimes when you start with a lawyer, sometimes over the course of a case, it's just no longer a good fit for a lot of reasons. And so really both sides have that options to kind of disengage and kind of move elsewhere. Now there are consequences and things like that. We'll talk about that. But really, Claire, it's honestly as simple as if you're no longer happy with your lawyer or just want to make a change, you just send them a written letter that you would like a copy of your file, and you want all your information. Now, depending upon how long your case has gone, that can be, it's nice to be, that can be a little bit of a transition. There are things like depositions have been taken, medical records, expenses. I don't know how close you are to trial, so that can be a little complex. It's always better to do it earlier than later. As well, and also just another little kind of side note: the lawyer may, if he or she took it on a contingency fee, meaning they haven't been paid anything, they may have expenses that they may want to talk to you about, and there may be some questions about lien or what's called quantum merit recovery. That essentially, if you take the case to another lawyer and there is a recovery, that the first lawyer, can say, hey, some of this was based upon my work. I deserve a little money. Now, don't get overwhelmed. I know it maybe sounds like a lot. It's really not. People change lawyers all the time, every day. It's not that big a deal, but it just starts with, quite frankly, a letter to the lawyer saying, I want to make a change, and you go from there. But as I say, before you do that, you may want to have a sit down with your lawyer. If it's really about the liability of your case, which you kind of hit there at the end of your question, you may want to have a sit down, because slip and falls are, they're tricky. They're a little tricky. We've had whole shows on that, and the law on that's very settled. Just because somebody falls at a place of business doesn't make that business responsible. So you may want to have a discussion about why the value of the case has changed or what's happened in the case. But anyway, I've given you a lot to chew on, Claire.
You have. Yeah.
I've kind of talked a lot as
I feel like you've gone 360 on
I know
this.
it. I know. Well,
so it's not a hard process to change your lawyer.
No, it's not at all.
But you are suggesting her to really think about it, because how long they've been together and where the trial is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure. Have a discussion. Always a good, have some communication. But in the end, it's your right. You can change your lawyer. Absolutely.
Right. It's a professional contract.
Absolutely.
There. So
it just takes a letter from you. Yep.
All right, Claire. Well, good luck with the back and everything like that. And give us a call back in the future. Love to hear how that works out for you on that side. It doesn't sound like I was one of your clients, right?
No,
you didn't recognize the name. Everything was fine.
Funny. Ha 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 ha.
It is a relationship. It is a relationship, and sometimes, and I've learned this one myself, Claire. The closer you get to trial, it's funny, the attorneys have so much to do. Sometimes you don't hear as much from them as you get a little bit closer to that peak moment right there. So
no, it's true. And expectations, Kenny, in cases are difficult, and honestly, and sometimes when lawyers start the case, they may not have every bit of information. They may not have the answer. There is a process of what's called discovery, when depositions and, interrogatories and things like that are done, and the facts develop. And unfortunately, maybe the facts have developed not in a positive way for Claire.
And
hard
might
to
be
say.
I
don't know, but who knows?